Hi everyone, this is Mark. If you are not familiar with me, or you haven't watched one of my videos, or if you haven't listened to one of the episodes of my podcast before, or if you haven't read one of my books, or if you haven't read any of my poetry that I've published online on my website, markthepoet.me, let me introduce myself. I'm Mark Hastings. I'm a writer. I'm a poet. I'm an author. For the last, I'd say 15 years now, I've been writing consistently poetry. Um, However, for the last 10 years, I've also been writing short stories, and most recently, I'd say within the last 8 years, I've been writing long form stories, including short novels, and I've also been, you could say, building my own world, my own narrative of my own characters, and it's been exciting, eventful, my journey as an author, as a writer, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But there have been ups and downs. Of course, over everyone's life, there are things that happen. There are joyous moments. There are also moments of tragedy and things that you wish hadn't happened. But when you're an artist, whether you're a painter, a writer, uh, even a director, a producer, whatever you are, you um, you're like a sponge. So everything that happens to you, everything that you think about, everything that anybody else says, even, maybe not even to you, maybe not directly, maybe something that um, someone says to someone else, something else says about something else to someone else. Um, yeah, you can. You save that, you filter that all into your memory, into your imagination, and sometimes it can stay there for years before you even do anything with it. You probably you don't even realize it's there sometimes because you forget what you've heard, what you've seen. Sometimes, um, but for me, I try to think when was the moment, when was the moment of Genesis, like in the Bible? When did it all begin? When did existence for me as a writer, as an author, begin? And I'm sure now, when I think back, it happened in about 2008. I think that was the year. I can't tell you what month, what day, can't. But I think it was 2008 when I wrote my first poem for the person that it was intended for, and as I say, that poem, it started very small. I thought that poem, that first poem, first thing that I wrote, was going to be the last thing that I wrote. I thought that was it. I didn't think anything else of it. However, over the years, I've written more poetry, and as I say, I've written short stories, novels now, and it's been exciting, been exciting, and I have gone through the process of writing and publishing my poetry online on my website. Started off on MySpace, actually. Yeah, to show how old I am. But it was great. To me, MySpace was a great forum to meet people, make friends. Yeah, I absolutely loved my experience on MySpace. And then you know, I just transitioned like everyone else has done over the years to, you know, the likes of Facebook and Twitter, as it was, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud. As I have continued to write and as I have continued to publish. But I got my first book published, my first poetry collection, Poet of the Sphere, originally published back in 2012. However, last year I had all of my books republished, including Poet of the Sphere. And now I believe I have 15 published books now as hardback books. Originally they were paperback versions, but that's a story for another time. The reason and how it came to be that my original paperback versions became unpublished, but I don't want to dwell on that too much. So yeah, so there's the introduction if you're not familiar with me. So what I want to do today is what I want to do in future episodes, video episodes, because if you're not familiar already with me and what I've been doing over the last few years, I have a podcast, Mark the Poet the podcast, and I published that episodes of that on my website, markthepoet.me. I also post on Instagram at The Sound of Mark, which is also the title of one of my poetry collections, my second poetry collection, in fact. And I've done this before. Over several years I've been doing what I'm doing now before, but I really want to go back to you know, talking about my poetry, talking about my books, my writing, why I write, what I write, and how much writing means to me. So with that in mind, this video is going to be in this video I'm going to, and in subsequent videos I'm going to record me reciting one of my poems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my copy of my first poetry collection, now republished in hardback. It was originally published in paperback. So this is my book, Poet of the Sphere, originally published in 2012, and then republished, as I said, last year. And I'm still incredibly proud of this book. It's still a book that I think about a lot, the process that I went through, and of writing all the poems within it. And what I want to do is just pick a poem at random. I'm just going to go to a random page, and I'm just going to read one of my poems that I probably haven't read for a long time. A couple of years ago I went through the process of going through all of my books and reading all of the poems from them for my my podcast, Mark the Poet, the podcast. But yeah, it's always good going back and reading something that I wrote, because you know, they're like old friends, like old acquaintances, you could say. So without further ado, I'm going to do exactly what I said. I'm going to randomly go to a random page, and the page I've settled on is page 101, if you can believe that. And the poem is my poem, Back to the Spark. And I can't tell you when I wrote this, I can't tell you why I wrote this, because it's been some years since I wrote this. I probably wrote this poem back in 2010, maybe 2011. But yeah, it was originally published back in 2012. But yeah, like I say, I'm going to read to you this poem, and I hope you like what you hear. When we are a child, we are afraid of the dark. And even as some people grow older, They cannot sleep without a light to assure them and to guide them, even if that light is but a spark. I used to be afraid of the dark. I used to drift off to sleep while mesmerised by the glow of a light bulb underneath my bedroom door. I used to look into the shadows and make myself believe that I could see a face. I used to listen to every sound and wonder what it was that was walking unseen over my floor. And then, one day, all the lights went out. My bedroom and my entire house were now only being lit by the majestic light of the moon. I remember my mum coming up to my room and telling me by candlelight that everything was going to be okay. The light will be back on soon. And the most amazing thing happened afterwards. Everything was okay. The power came back on. And with the light, and at no time that night since then, or now, have I not believed without fear that everything is going to be all right. It's all just a question of when and how. Lights go out every day, but they always return to life brighter than they were before. Day or night, whether in the sky or right beside us on earth, seen or unseen, a spark is always there that no one can ever obscure. I have found great solace in darkness, broken only by the light of hope within my dreams. I have felt powerful inspiration from the assured smile of a friend telling me that everything is not always as it seems. I have been in a sea of uncertainty, diving below the surface before coming face to face with a fast-moving shark, unmoving, unafraid, and unlimited. I raised my head to look at the glittering sunlight above. I closed my eyes, and I went back to the spark. As I say, that was my poem, Back to the Spark, from my book, Poet of the Sphere. And I hope you like what you heard. And yeah, like I say, this is the first of several videos that I'm going to be recording, as I used to do more in previous years, but I'm definitely going to try to do more soon. So yeah, I'm just going to leave you there for now. Just want to say thank you for listening, thank you for watching. I hope you like what you heard, and I'll talk to you again soon.